Mazer. Welcome to the Pridecast. I'm your host, Emma Meekum. You'll be hearing from...
I'm Joshua Beckham.
I'm Jarett Wood.
And today's topic is Shakespeare.
I'm Joshua Beckham. I'm a junior this year. My favorite color is orange. And this is my first time ever competing in the Shakespeare competition. I have no experience other than improvising.
I'm Jarett Wood. I'm a senior this year, and this will be my fifth year in total competing in Shakespeare. I started in 8th grade, and I've done it every year since. And my favorite color is green.
Josh, with this being your first year at Shakespeare, what was the biggest shock that you had with starting the competition?
Ooh, the biggest shock. Just the level of intensity that you have to reach in order to truly feel your character. That was pretty hard. And like you just come in and you're like, oh yeah, I'll just memorize my lines and act my stuff and do the blocking and it'll be a good show. And then you realize, wait, this isn't just a good show. This is more than that, and you don't get any sleep because of it.
Jarett, what is your first memory of Shakespeare and how has that helped you throughout your years of competing?
Yeah, my first memory of Shakespeare was 8th grade, and the scene was the big fight scene during near the end of Richard III, I think it was, and I was cast as Richmond, and so I had one little piece that I'd say the monologue in front of everyone, and it was just a little, call it the little prayer, because anyway, and so that was just a good starting point for me to like see where I was at beforehand, and then over the years see the progression of how I've improved and looking back on the mistakes I've made. So it's helped me. I cherish that memory because my first year doing it was such a blast, and over the years it's just gotten even better and better through all of that. I hope that answered the question.
What is the thing you are most excited for at Shakespeare this year?
This year, okay. Well, I mean, it's my senior year, so go all in for this. Seniors send it, you know. So I think the thing I'm most excited for is seeing how far I can push myself and seeing how far Miss Smith can push me as an actor, and just seeing how far I can get. I'm just excited to see how people react to our scenes, because at this point, win, lose, draw, however it goes, I'm just excited with how much time I've spent with Logan and Tate improving the scene. So I'm really just looking forward to seeing people's reactions, seeing how far we can push ourselves with that.
Same here. Okay. So like maybe the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, I still got another year left, so obviously I'll do it again. But this year for sure is just, really, I've already done it a lot this year, but like really getting to know the people I'm working with. I've made like so many friendships that I wouldn't normally have made because I did this, and we've been having such a party. It's a blast, honestly.
Describe your relationship with your character and how you connect with them during your scene.
Oh.
Me or you first?
Oh no, we both have hard jobs.
This is true. I'll go first. So I am Hamlet. So that right off the bat is already difficult. But Hamlet, the way we're portraying Hamlet this time is we're trying to leave an ambiguity of, is he really insane? Is he really crazy, or is this just an act that he's putting up? And so how we're playing Hamlet with this scene, it's the scene between it's the conflicting scene between Claudius and Hamlet, and Hamlet had just killed Polonius, and they just found where Hamlet was at. So this is the big conversation where Hamlet's not really making any sense, talking about worms and maggots, and you're thinking, what is happening? And so he's very jumpy, but not in a nervous sort of way. He just has a lot on his mind that he's trying to get out and he's trying to convey. And so he's pacing around the room a lot. And so to slip into that, because naturally me, I already move around a lot, so that kind of helps. Yeah, not jumpy, but yeah. And so how I make that just accented even further is I literally will just start walking paces across the room and just start jumping and doing a bunch of weird things to help get my heart rate up and just to try to like get into physically to that mode. And then mentally what I have to do is I have to think of like because he just killed someone. He hasn't killed anyone before, so that's a traumatic experience already. And him being mad at his mom through the other stuff that's happened, him marrying his uncle, with the mom marrying the uncle. I slip back into like moments of where I've just had a very not traumatic experience, but like emotional experiences for me and how I felt afterwards, where after my mind's processed everything that's happened, I have things to say afterwards that I need to get out, and so I try to just combine all of the energy with that and try to push it all out with that. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I'm Henry VI, which is not like a super popular play, but it is. My scene is extremely difficult to convey for me, at least, because like I have no, like I can't feel what he's feeling right now, and what he's going through is like he just had like his son was killed, and now like the kingdom is in total chaos with the Rose Wars, and his wife is like just being really pushy with him, and she's like, why get off your butt, why are you sitting around doing nothing? The kingdom is in peril. You need to do something about it. But in the end, like, he just wants to be a shepherd. He wants to escape all this like treachery that's around him and murder and slaughter that he's been victim to his entire life. But he ends up kind of fallen victim to that. And what I have to do to like kind of get myself in the mindset of this is like, it's like super hard, and like the tears do come quite oftenly, but like just frankly imagine yourself as this loveless, lonely, has nothing left to live for person who just had everything taken away from him, and he's been put in this position that is impossible to even imagine escaping. He's like being backed up into a corner, and every time he tries to escape, he has like another sword pointed at his face, and it's really hard. And yeah, and it's super cool because it's like in our scene, like all of our characters are that way. It's not just my character, it's not just Brandon's character. It's all of our characters. It's super cool how they connect.
Jarett, you've had experience in both middle school and high school Shakespeare. Can you describe the differences between them and explain how you adapted to high school Shakespeare?
Well, going from Gerber in the middle school Shakespeare to Holtz and Smith and Dowdle has just their personalities. A lot of it is different, so trying to get used to their directing style right off the bat was already a little bit more difficult. And part of the other thing is experience level in middle school and experience level now is also different. So sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Going from Gerber's style of run it, feel those emotions and feel everything, and Smith and Dowdle have done that too, but there's just like a little bit of tweaks in this because I feel like we did a little bit more character work in high school, understanding these characters more. I'm not saying we didn't do character work with Gerber. Gerber did a lot of character work with us. But I feel like maybe my understanding of the characters and character work changed and evolved as I grew older and understood more things. Ask the question one more time. Sorry.
So, like, how did you adapt from the differences?
That's the question. Sorry, yeah. And then going from adapting from calmer scenes, I'd say. Not saying the battle scene in my 8th grade year was calm, but like going from a more calmer tone in general to this high intensity in high school that I've always done was also a little bit of a flip. Because the other ones were, the one I did with my 9th grade year was very much like a comedic thing. And then having to go from comedic to dramatic was a little bit jarring. And yeah, I don't think I answered the question, but there you go.
How has Shakespeare made you a better person?
Before Shakespeare, so I moved around a lot when I was younger, and so me making friends came naturally after a while, but being able to speak to large crowds helped better me because of this, and now I don't feel as awkward just going up to a random stranger and having a conversation. Not that I just do that, but like if I need to strike up a conversation with someone else that I've never met before, I feel comfortable doing that. I feel comfortable talking in front of large crowds because of this, and so I feel like it's made me better in the fact that I can socially interact better than I did. And it's also helped me think through just certain things in my life with looking at how their characters reacted in the scene or the play, and looking at my life, and like, because sometimes there's a little bit of correlation of like, you notice the fact that we're all human in it, and so looking on their mistakes and then looking on my mistakes and trying to improve through that way, it's helped me there.
Yeah, so in my scene we're dealing with a lot of emotional trauma for sure, and oftentimes it can be hard to feel for those who have lost so much because you don't have that same feeling, obviously. But in this case I've had to put myself in a situation where it's like, now I do feel that, and now I can empathize with you, and now I understand where you're coming from, and like through this scene, like I've realized, what's the right approach to solving these problems, instead of just fantasizing over what could have been or what could be. Just actually make it happen, instead of just remaining in this chaos.
Thanks for listening, Mazer. See you next time on the Pridecast.